Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Pan TheOrganizer. So today, I'm answering a very popular question: how do we remove a ceramic coating? So a ceramic coating is a semi-permanent form of paint protection. In my opinion, the best form of paint protection because it's going to protect your vehicle and your paintwork against the elements, against the UV rays. It's going to give you hydrophobic properties, meaning water beading and water sheeting. It has self-cleaning properties, meaning that the vehicle is a lot easier to clean during maintenance washes. It's going to give slickness, boost the gloss, basically everything that you can expect and more from paint protections. And they typically come in a glass vial like this. So these are multi-year paint protectants and they resist pretty much everything. However, when it comes to the end of the life cycle of the coating, how do you remove it? Or if while you're using the ceramic coating on your vehicle, after a few years, if you want to remove it and use another product, how do you do it? Well, today we have the mother of all chemical resistance tests, guys. If you can quickly see here behind me, I have a bunch of different chemicals. Do not try this at home, but we're going to see which one of these products is going to break it down. And for a test vehicle, I'm using my own BMW that has a professional grade ceramic coating on it. So this one here has OptiCoat Pro Plus. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. This is just a means for me to explain to you guys how do you remove a ceramic coating. But basically a coating like this, the service itself goes for upwards of $1,600 US for a vehicle like mine. So it's very expensive. And so I'm using my vehicle as the test subject. And where I'm going to show you all the products that we're going to use in this test. And at the end, you will have the answer and it might shock you and surprise you. So make sure you watch the video from the beginning all the way till the end, guys. So without further ado, you know the drill. Let's go ahead and start the show. So hey guys, I'm Pan, welcome to the show. I hope you guys are having a great day, so let's dig right into it, because today, as I said, we're doing the mother of all chemical resistance tests to see, well, what we need to remove a ceramic coating. And like I said, stay tuned till the end because the answer might shock you or surprise you. This question is often asked, and today we're going to dig into it. Before we go ahead and do so, if you're new to the channel, make sure you click the subscribe button that's found under this video, and that way you'll subscribe to my channel and never miss my future videos, so you guys can continue to learn more about car detailing, so all the products, equipment, tips, tricks, and techniques. Let's do a quick overview. First of all, in between each chemical, I'll be using a shampoo. So this is an intensive car shampoo, Car Pro Reset, to neutralize the chemicals in between tests and to remove any residue as well. So we measure the hydrophobic properties on the paint and not the chemical residue. We're going to have a strip wash. So these soaps typically help to break down older waxes or paint sealants. Again, they don't fully remove those, but they help the breaking down process. So we're going to see if this can break down the ceramic coating. Next, we're going to be using a few products that you could use in a real world scenario on a ceramic coated car. So for example, we have a bug remover. We're going to have a tar remover for tar deposits and road grime. We're going to have an iron remover. So this removes brake dust and those iron particles that are embedded in the clear coat. We have a water spot remover. So if you have some hard water issues where you live, this is to remove those. We're going to have a multi-purpose cleaner and degreaser, a very powerful one, very high alkalinity, so very alkaline pH. We're going to have an IPA, isopropyl alcohol mix. So this is essentially a paint prep. I know you guys have requested to see this in those chemical resistance tests. And of course, as you see, it increases in strength. So we're going to see where the product fails if it fails. We have Citrol 266. So this is a citrus-based multi-purpose degreaser. We call this the sealant killer because it typically kills, usually spray formats of regular sealants or regular waxes. So we're going to see if it can resist this. And at the end, if it's still going well, we have an acid-based wheel cleaner. Do not try this at home, guys. Again, nobody would submit their vehicles to such an onslaught of different chemicals. But for the purposes of this test, we're going to go ahead and do so. So before we start with the test, we're going to do an initial water test on the hood. So what I did here is I split the hood in half. So we're going to have a control section on the right. So this here, we're not going to use any chemicals on, and we're going to be able to compare the water hydrophobic properties. So the water beading and the water sheeting. And on the left-hand side, this is where I'll be using the chemicals. So let's start with an initial water test to see what the water properties look like. So So as we can tell, the water is very quick to sheet off. The water beads are super round and very tight. So great water beading, great water sheeting. So the first test, we're using a strip wash to see if it can break it down, and I'm gonna use it straight without even diluting it. So apply this on the mitt, and then we're gonna wash the surface. And also in this test, you're gonna see that we're gonna be washing the paintwork many, many times. So that's another of the tests to see how often it resists washing the surface, right? Okay. So as we can tell, unaffected by the strip wash. So it's going nice and strong. The sheeting is very, very awesome. This is what helps dry the vehicle very quickly, and the water beads are still super round and tight. Okay, for the second chemical resistance test, we're using a bug remover. So we're gonna spray this on the surface. So again, seems completely unaffected by the bug remover. Very quick sheeting on both sides, very tight and clean water beads. And if anything, it's actually cleaning the surface because the sheeting is even better. And there's a bit less sheeting on the control side. So we're actually cleaning any dirt and grime that might be on the coating. So terrific resistance. All right, for the third chemical resistance test, we're going to use a tar remover. So it removes adhesives, it removes tar deposits, any road grime that you might have as well. So again, as we can tell, fantastic water beading. The water sheeting is still intact. So far, so good. Look how round and tight those beads are. That's insane. There are beads inside the water beads. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, so for the fourth chemical in this chemical resistance test, we have an iron remover. So this removes any embedded iron particles, typically brake dust and industrial fallout. So those are the orange rust spots that you see on lighter colored cars, but all cars have those. So this is a good product against that. All right, as we can tell, again, completely unaffected, very, very great water sheeting, fantastic, nice and tight water beads. There is absolutely no signs of breaking this down so far. So for the fifth chemical, I hope I'm counting these right, by the way, because we're using a bunch of them. As you can see, hopefully also, look how easy the surface is to dry with just a leaf blower, or if you have a car dryer, you dry your vehicle in minutes when it's ceramic coated, so that really helps. Okay, so next, we're using a water spot remover. So this typically has a bit of an acid-based to change the chemistry of the water spots, because those are mineral deposits, right? So when you have those droplets of water, if it's left in the baking sun with the heat, the water evaporates. And if you have hard water issues or acid rain where you live, it could leave a spot that could etch through the clear coat if it's unattended. So we have water spot removers. These are pretty intense cleaners. Again, as you can tell, fantastic water sheeting, awesome water beading. The beads are still round, they're still perfectly round actually, and tight. There's water beads within water beads, and It's just great. So chemical number 6 is a very powerful multi-purpose cleaner degreaser. This is super clean. We have this in the bottle undiluted, so full strength. This is very, very powerful. High alkaline pH. So we're using more acid-based ones, some pH neutral ones, more alkaline ones. We're basically testing the entire pH range. All right, let's have a look at the results. So we still get tight water beads. There's still water sheeting. It seems like it might have taken a slight hit in some areas. We're going to see if that's residue that's still too stuck and maybe hasn't been removed by the pH neutral or the intensive car shampoo, but still looking great. If I touch, yeah, it still feels super slick everywhere. So let's move on. So I think this is chemical number 6 or 7. So this is a paint prep isopropyl alcohol mix. This is typically used to remove any polishing oils and residue after you polished your paint. So you might have done a compound stage and a polish stage to remove any light swirls, oxidation, and swirl marks and scratches from your paint. And after you're done using those polishes, you want to remove the oils before applying a ceramic coating, because ceramic coatings need to bond directly to virgin clear coat. So let's spray this on. This is what we call an IPA wipe. All right, so let's have a look. So we still see some water beading. It turned more into a sheeting product. The sheeting is a lot slower, so we start to see some breaking down, but in many areas it's still resisting. The slickness is still there, but if we look on the control side, the water beading and the water sheeting seems to be a lot better. And also keep in mind, you would never ever submit your vehicle to such an onslaught of different chemical guys. This is way too much. We're going overboard. But again, it's to prove a point. So the protection, well, is still there for now. So let's see what we can do to kill it further, right? So we're probably at chemical number 8 right now, the sealant killer. Citral 266 from Schaefer's Oil. It says here, it removes adhesives, asphalt, wax, grease, rubber marks, oil, scuff marks, tree sap, and more. This is heavy, heavy duty stuff. So we're going to spray some and apply it, work it in. Right, let's have a closer look. So by this point, the ceramic coating has taken a huge, huge hit. There's still some water beading, but the sheeting of the water is still extremely slow now. So definitely we have changed the hydrophobic properties. Some of the protection still seems to be there. The paint still feels really, really slick. If we compare both sides, I can barely tell. However, on the control side, you can tell much tighter water beads, greater water sheeting. The panel is almost dry compared to this side where the water is still pooling. So we're not quite there yet, but almost. But again, this is like 7 or 8 chemicals in. This is crazy. So let's go to the ultimate last one. And now, last but not least, we have an acid-based wheel cleaner. Do not try this at home. Again, guys, I'm using my own vehicle as a test vehicle here. So I have the capacity, of course, to reapply a ceramic coating if need be later on. This can etch glass, so I'm not gonna spray it directly on the paint, but I'm gonna spray a bit on this microfiber towel and work that in. Okay, let's have a look. By the way, it's been almost 2 years since the ceramic coating has been applied on my vehicle. We still get water beads that seem to be still tight in some areas, but then there are other areas that really took a big hit, and the sheeting is very, very slow, so it definitely turned more into a sheeter compared to a beater. However, that doesn't mean that the protection is removed. So this is kind of the point of the video, so we can tell the paint is still as slick as on this side, but definitely the control side, better water beading, better water sheeting, but we still get a bit of beading and sheeting on this side. So what happened? The ceramic coating still hasn't been removed, and we were through what, 8 or 9 different chemicals, different ranges of pH levels as well. We used a stripping soap. We used another intensive car shampoo, so multiple rounds of cleaning the surface with an intensive shampoo meant to clean ceramic coatings. We used tar removers, iron removers, we used multi-purpose cleaner degreasers, citrus-based cleaners, wheel cleaners that are acid-based. Also, if I look behind me, water spot removers, bug removers. So we went through the whole 9 yards. So it gets me to my point now of if there's still some protection left, how do you fully remove ceramic coatings? So the answer that you guys have been waiting for, come with me, lies on the wall behind me, because the only way to ensure 100% removal of ceramic coatings, guys, is through machine polishing. So a dual action polisher, random orbit polisher, forced rotation polisher, or any type of polisher that you guys use. I prefer dual action. You need mechanical abrasion with a polisher, a compounding pad or polishing pad, and a compound or polish those liquids, right? So that's how you fully ensure 100% removal of coatings. Some are also very resilient, especially if they've been freshly applied. So after a week or two, when they're at their fullest and their hardest, well, you might need to water sand even to fully remove them. So they're no joke. That's why they call them semi-permanent layers of protection on paintwork, is because they're way more durable and chemical resistant compared to traditional carnauba waxes or paint sealants. Traditional carnauba waxes or paint sealants would have probably failed 1, 2, or 3 products into this test, definitely would not have made it up to the end, and would not have water beading or water sheeting, especially after acid-based wheel cleaners, multi-purpose cleaner degreasers at full strength, and citrus-based cleaners as well, as you saw. So there was still some resiliency from the ceramic coating on the surface. And so the only way to ensure, again, 100% removal, I often reply this to my viewers who ask the question, is through mechanical abrasion using a polisher, your choice of polishing pad, and also your choice of polishing compound. So that's the only way, guys, to ensure 100% removal, so you can start from fresh. And by the way, I have the most popular tutorial on how to apply a ceramic coating on my channel, so I highly encourage that you go watch that. I'll leave the link in the description under this video. Go and check out the rest of my 550 plus videos on my channel as well, if you want to continue to learn more about car detailing, so all the products, equipment, tips, tricks, and techniques. Did you like this video? Did you like that I submitted my own car with an expensive ceramic coating to the mother of all chemical resistance tests? Drop a comment in the comment section under the video. Show me your support. Also, were you surprised? What are your thoughts, emotions, opinions? Let me know. It's always a fun read. And well, are you considering on applying a ceramic coating on your car? Or if you already have a ceramic coating, which one from which brand is your go-to? Let me know. Also, to further show me your support, smash the thumbs up button. It really makes a difference, guys, and it shows me, well, that you appreciate the work that I put in. And in the meantime, well, guys, don't forget, keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you on the next one.